Aleya. Thank you, Dr. Amr. We have been hearing throughout the day the importance of public-private partnerships, especially in closing the gap between supply and demand, and setting bilateral skills partnerships to encourage labor market trends. And I would like to ask, because Ghabbour has been one of the private sectors that has really focused and initiated the whole aspect of inclusion into their workforce. How have you addressed these schemes and the needs of workers in vulnerable situations, especially women? And what role does the private sector foresee in promoting the mutual recognition of qualifications and skills between Egypt and countries of destinations?
Thank you, Shuru. And first, let me thank Dr. Ali Shamsuddin for organizing this conference for the second year. And actually, I think one of the main outcomes and benefits of having a conference of this size is to have all the stakeholders that are engaged in similar initiatives participating in panels like this. So as an individual institution, we are an NGO working on development of vocational education. And it's very thrilling to see how what we've been working on in recent years actually fits exactly within the national framework and what international organizations have been doing in terms of exporting qualified labor to countries of destination that actually need this labor. So let me start by saying that in 2017, when the foundation was established, what we thought or envisioned our mission to be was to bridge a gap between vocational education on one end and the local job market demand. So we foresaw that there was a huge gap between the needs of the local job market and what vocational education was there to provide, and we set out to do that. However, as we progressed, starting 2021, we started to realize that very soon we will have a surplus of labor. We will have a surplus of qualified technicians. And on the other hand, there's a huge demand when it comes to neighboring countries, when it comes to the Gulf region, when it comes to Germany in particular, European countries, a growing need is surfacing. So this is when we started to establish our own plan to, along the framework that we're hearing about today, to start preparing our students for the global job market. So I know the time is precious, but I would like to take 1 minute to show a video of how the school day runs within the schools, and you will see how this is very similar to what is done in international institutions. And then I will take a few minutes to discuss how we prepare our students to be ready for the global job market, and then finally share some opportunities and challenges that we encountered running pilot stage initiatives to match our students with the global job market.
Thank you.
So, video, please. Thank you. So this is very briefly how a school day typically runs inside our schools. I'll take, I don't know if you can show the presentation. Yes, I will not bore you with the details, just to tell you that we actually have 830 students currently in our schools, of which what we are very proud of, talking about the subject of inclusion and gender equalities, we have 120 girls. So when we talk about the automotive sector, I think this is quite an achievement that we're very proud of, that we have initiated to have girls and women part of our workforce, our trainers, and also our students. So very soon, when you service your cars in service centers, not just in GB Auto, but in all the other companies we collaborate with, you will start seeing very determined young women servicing those cars. So we have, since 2020, we have graduated over 500 students. So what do those students actually have as potential that makes them potential recruits or potential labor for the global job market? So first of all, when we started, we wanted to replicate a very successful model of vocational education, which is the German dual education system. So that being said, we follow that system. We work now with the Ministry of Education, Technical Education, Applied Technology schools, which fit perfectly within that model, or we fit their model to be exact. But we also focused a lot on language skills, because we have spoken how this is a barrier to entry into the global job market. So we requested from the start that our schools would be run in the English language as an international language of education. This is definitely a challenge when we are talking about students coming out of public preparatory schools. However, it was an important requirement for us. We worked gradually with them from the first year to the third year, but it was very important that they have this knowledge, especially for technical subjects. When it comes to technical language, the manuals are in English. So whether they work in the local job market and international job market, they must have this knowledge with them. But we did not stop at the English language, recognizing that Germany is one of the huge potential labor markets for the students. We also started introducing the German language as a basis for those students to study. So in addition to what they study in the school, they also have language courses that they receive together with the Goethe Institute. We also have a collaboration with them. So this has been very important to set them out at least with the basic level of readiness for the German job market. Of course, when we talk about recognition, international recognition is very important. So we collaborate with the German Chamber for Industry and Commerce to accredit our students according to the dual education system. This is very important when we communicate with international organizations, when we communicate with countries in different countries, to establish that there is international quality assurance. But I think just as importantly as we talk about technical knowledge, we talk about language, but it's also very important to focus on what is soft skills, what is Industry 4.0 skills that will very soon be required within the job market. So this is digital skills definitely on the agenda. Even if we introduce this as extracurricular activities for now, but very soon we'd like to embed that within the curriculum as well. Definitely focusing on who is teaching them. So the trainers, the teachers are, it's just as important to qualify them and accredit them to be able to deliver this system. So I'll take let me just convey to you some experiences we've had approaching different countries. So in 2020, we graduated our first batch of students, and we recognized the potential in them, particularly in some of them who had very relevant skills to the German job market. So maybe similar to what the TAM program is doing, but on a much smaller scale, as a pilot scale. We have selected outstanding students who have taken for the course of a year and a half language courses, very intensive German language courses, as well as additional technical courses. And then we set out to match them through our academic partner. We have an international German academic partner, and they set out to match them with companies in Germany. And actually, we have to say that there is definitely huge appetite. The companies did not just want to train them, they actually wanted to employ them when they finished the training period. But actually what we're facing as a challenge right now is the visa process. So definitely, Dr. Sabir, we will have to rely definitely on your experience and on the framework that is set out to work on that. We are thrilled to know of this initiative and definitely leveraging on that to facilitate the process. So yes, absolutely. So this is a pilot that is already in motion to work around that kind of matchmaking. We have also started initiating a campaign to reach out to the Gulf region because, yes, traditionally the Gulf region has relied a lot on South Asian technicians. And actually, when we approached them and we asked the question as to why not Egyptian labor, the reason was actually that there was no reason why not, but it was just the status quo. They had communities, existing communities of South Asian labor who were out there. They operated very well, but they were now reaching a point where there is a challenge when it comes to advanced technology, because with the new vehicles, with electric vehicles coming in, very soon autonomous cars as well, the existing labor does not fit that requirement. So when we approach them that we actually have students who are ready to deliver that kind of requirement, they are very welcoming to that. But again, we will reach a stage where we definitely need to fit within a gateway or a pathway that will facilitate this process as well. So just to conclude, we are very happy to hear about the EBRD research, the study, because this is definitely very enlightening and it opens up the path for our future endeavors. So thank you so much for sharing. And we are very much looking forward to working definitely with the Ministry of Education, of course, and the Ministry of Immigration on, and Manpower on satisfying those requirements.
Thank you so much, Aleya.